All right, time for some blasphemy. Outcomes don't matter. Yeah, I said it. Outcomes don't matter. Now, as a business owner, you're probably like, of course they do. Dude, you're insane. Outcomes absolutely matter. How the hell can outcomes not matter? Especially in a sales environment. Like if you're selling your thing, doesn't the outcome matter? Don't you want the sale to happen? Okay, all right. So maybe it's a little bit of a hyperbole. Outcomes don't matter, but let me explain to you what I mean by that and why I say it and why I believe more of us need to really understand this, because this is something that's been coming up a lot recently in conversation. So I figured let's talk about it. Let's share about it. Here's the reality. Nobody knows the pressure you're under like you do. Nobody knows the pressure I'm under like I do. Nobody knows what's in your bank account like you do. Nobody knows what you need like you do. And that's just reality, right? But that reality sometimes forces us or causes us to be in a place where we got somebody in front of us and they could be a new client and we're seeing the dollar signs. I had this happen years and years ago. I remember the first time this was really, really plain to me, and it was jarring. It was absolutely jarring. I hired this accountant. I won't say their name, but I'd been with them for a little while, and they were good. They used to work for the IRS. They used to be an IRS auditor, and so they were really good at keeping you out of IRS trouble. And it was always kind of weird, the pricing model that this person charged for doing taxes, because it never seemed consistent. And I remember one Friday I was in their office and I overheard, because the door was left ajar, I overheard them talking with their assistant about that week's payroll. And I remember hearing the assistant say the number of that week's payroll. And I remember going in and having my meeting with my accountant. And at the end of the meeting, when I asked her, so how much is this going to cost? And how much of a check do you need today? The answer was the amount of her payroll for that week. That was my first moment in understanding that the outcome doesn't matter, because as the consumer, as the customer, I felt awful in that moment. Matter of fact, after she did that work for me, I never went back to that accountant, ever. Because I felt taken advantage of. Now, maybe that is what the cost was. Maybe it was all just a big coincidence. But my reality in that moment was I realized, or I felt, that she was desperate. And you see, here's the thing. As humans, we run from desperation. We naturally run from desperation. So when we are the ones now in the driver's seat selling our service, and we care about the outcome, because the outcome of making the sale means money in our bank, and then that takes pressure off of us because we know how much money we need, whether we do it as egregiously as that accountant did or not. That other person feels your desperation, and they naturally want to run away from you. And so that's why I say we can't be concerned with the outcome. But Atiba, what should I be concerned with then? Like, I mean, I am trying to make a sale. I am trying to make money. I do need to have bills to pay. How do I not take my feeling of desperation, my feeling of needing this job into this meeting, into this conversation, into this interaction? And that is the exact conversation that I've been having with several people recently. And it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. Because as business owners, I think this is just a reality that we live in, right? And so here's what I've learned over the years. And here's what's come to me over the years. And I'm going to share something with you that paraphrases it all, that I learned from my good friend, Kat Merritt. And if you don't know Kat, go look her up. She is genius and brilliant. And Kat took a lot of garbled thoughts in my brain of how to do this and actually put it into a very, very succinct framework to think about. And here it is. You have to care more about the sale, S-A-I-L, than the sale, S-A-L-E. You see, so many of us care so much about the sale, the dollar signs, the ringing of the cash register, the taking of the credit card, the sale. But we don't spend time thinking about the S-A-I-L and the setting of the sale. You see, in these interactions that we have with other humans, our role as their guide is to be the one that helps them set their S-A-I-L in the direction of whatever it is that they want and desire. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Our role as the guide, because remember, there are only 3 characters in a story. There's the hero, the guide, and the villain. And so if you're the hero of the story, then what is your customer? They're not your guide, so then they're the villain. That doesn't make any sense. And so we have to be the guide of the story so that they can be the hero of the story and conquer the villain of the story. And if we're the guide, as the guide, our role is to help them set their sail in the direction that's going to get them to what it is that they want. Now, when that happens, their sail may get set in a direction that leads them directly to us, or their sail may get set in a direction that leads them away from us. This is why we can't care about the outcome, because we know the outcome that we want. We want their sail set in the direction towards us, but maybe that's not right for them. Maybe that's not where they need to be. Maybe that's not what they need to be doing. And so as their guide, we have to help them set their sail, S-A-I-L. And that may lead to an S-A-L-E, or it may lead to them going somewhere else. Either way, that's fine, because our role is to help them set their sail. And so we can't care about the outcome. We can't get selfish and this is what I want and this is what it needs to be. Come on, give me your money, give me your money, give me. We can't get caught in that. John Maxwell says it so beautifully in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. One of the laws is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You see, when I said spend time, when you said spend time helping someone set their sails, what they're learning about you is how much you care about them. You see, they don't care how much you know. They don't care what you can offer them. They don't care what you can do for them until they know how much you can. That's even more prevalent right now in society with all the stuff that's going on around the world right now, where who can we trust? What can we trust? People are looking for brands. They're looking for companies. They're looking for people they can trust. They got to get to know you. They got to know how much you care. So help them set their sail. Stop focusing on the outcome. Help them set their sail. And either they'll sail directly to you or they'll sail away from you. Either way, they'll walk away remembering, loving you, and being a great referral partner and source for you because they realize you truly care. So, what am I really saying here? You're living in desperation. I know, I do it all the time too, so I'm not pointing a finger at you. We live in desperation. We don't live in abundance. And we live in desperation because we live in a selfish world where we think about ourselves all the time. And when we think about ourselves, there's always more that we need. There's almost always more that we don't have. There's always more to go when we're thinking about ourselves. It's time to stop thinking about just the ends of our noses and be the guide and help others set their sails to get into the direction and where they need to go. Where they need to go. As we talk about leadership, this is leadership. This, my friends, is leadership. It isn't about having the biggest ideas. It isn't about doing the craziest things or the biggest things. It's about these little things. It's about caring for people more than you care for yourself. Because when you care for them, you ultimately will always be taken care of, and abundance will find you. Abundance will find you. But while we live scared, while we live in scarcity, abundance can't find us. It just can't. It's not even possible. So, care more about their sail. Help them set their sail. Love to hear the stories of how this goes for you.